Spring is here, sunshine, blossoms, and for many allergies. And of course, just for the people who live in the southern hemisphere right now, like me. So if you do suffer from allergies, you live in the northern hemisphere, then you know it for your spring. So the bad part is if you do suffer from allergies, you do not necessarily only do that in spring. There are enough people who suffer from allergies all year around. And it can be the watery eyes and the running nose and the sneezing and just feeling really badly. And for me, for example, it was for years and years and years. I always had a cold, always. Like every month I had a cold, and then I had a bronchitis, and then I had a cold again and a bronchitis and. And I went to so many doctors, and they always checked my blood and said like, no, you're healthy, you're fine, everything's okay. And I was like, no, it's not. I'm sick again. And eventually I found one doctor who said like, I think you have allergies. We should test on them. And yes, true, heaps of allergies. And the problem with the allergies is the doctors do understand what is happening in your body. Like your whole immune system is running against a certain thing, like, for example, cat hair or pollen or grasses or whatever it is for you. And they don't know why. Why the cat hair? Why the tree? Why the pollen? What is with grasses and that person? So they do know what is happening in your body, but they have no idea why that really is the case. And I am quite happy that I did get rid of so far all my allergies. And I hope it stays like that. So how did I do that? I am a hypnotherapist, and during that process of being a hypnotherapist, I figured out that there is a way more holistic way we should see our system. And that is not just we have a body that is allergic to something, but we also have a soul and a psyche in this body. And it's not that you can take them apart. It's one system. And because it's one system, there are not so many ways for them to communicate with us. Like if your body has a problem, like, for example, a cold, it's quite easy to figure that out. But if you have a psychological problem, it's not always that easy. And most of the time it shows through your body, doesn't it? Like if you look at people who are depressed, you will see it in their bodies. They will have less energy. They might have problems with sleep. Everything's connected. That's the easy way to say it. And the same goes for allergies. Not for all allergies, for sure, and also not for food intolerances per se, because that is a completely different thing. Like, for example, if you do have an histamine intolerance, your body can't process histamine any longer, and that is why it reacts in a certain way. There are reasons why your body can't do that any longer, and there might even be a psychological part, but there is for sure a part that we know why exactly it happened. But if you are allergic to cats, the question is why? Why cats? And I come up with that example because that is my problem too. I have been allergic to cats. And interestingly, not to every cat, which already shows that there must be something with it, because it's funny, for a lot of people that I know who suffer from cat allergies, they will all tell me, but it's not with every cat. Where you think like, that doesn't really make sense. Either you're allergic to cats or you're not allergic to cats. Why are you allergic to some cats and why are you not allergic to other cats? And the same was for me. I, for example, wasn't that allergic to cats that were allowed to be outside the house. If they were just inside the house, super allergic. If they were okay to go outside, not that allergic. It's a tiny bit funny, isn't it? I mean, of course, you could say, yeah, if they are only in a secure space like a flat, then the flat is full of their hair and their saliva and everything. So that is why you're more allergic. But I always thought, like, yeah, but still, the cats that go outside, they are also living inside a lot. So it doesn't really add up there. Since I am a hypnotherapist, I did look into that at some point because I thought there might be something in my subconscious that made me allergic to cats. And yes, there was. Because what our subconscious does, and that is just in a nutshell, what our subconscious does is it is there for us. It tries to make the world as good as it can get for us. So our system always does things that are supposed to help us. The problem is, first of all, it's subconscious, so we don't know, we don't really know what is happening. And second, the subconscious mind has a different logic to things. What happened with me? When I was a kid, I wanted a pet. I wanted a cat. And I thought our flat actually is big enough to have one. But my parents were completely against it. They were completely against it. And they made it quite sure that I understood we will never, ever have a cat. So what my subconscious did is it helped me. It did make sure that I am not allowed to have a cat, because if I'm allergic to a cat, I don't want one, right? That's what my system did. It figured out if I can't have a cat, so we completely take it away from her. Now you would say, sounds a bit strange. Listen to the next one. I also had problems with hay fever, though they just came quite late along the line, probably in my 30s. And I didn't know why. It's like, why do they come up right now? The only thing that I knew is my mom always had suffered from hay fever since I know her. And so I also looked into the hay fever thing, the allergy there. And my subconscious quite nicely told me, you want to be more like your mom. So there's a similarity. Be happy. And I was like, no, I'm not happy. In a way, it was nice of my system to give me something that I could relate easier with my mom with, because we had the same problem. But that wasn't what I wanted. And since I told that to my subconscious and said, like, we can find other ways so I can relate to my mom easier, or I feel like, yes, that is really my mom, we have a bond in some ways, let's search for something else. I don't want hay fever being our common bond. And again, that worked. And it's not just working with me. I did work with a client on her allergies, and it was really nice because I did do my first session with her when I was still in training, and we worked on her dust mites allergy. And what the subconscious usually does, I've explained that in a different video, is it starts at some point, and from that point on, it takes a lot of links and situation that it puts back to the first one. So for her, it was like that with the dust mite allergy. And the good news is, after we worked together, it was successfully. she came back a year later and said, I have huge problem with pollens now. Please help me there too, because you worked so great with me on the dust mats. And I was like, yeah, cool, let's do that. And again, there, her subconscious had taken one thing and linked it to heaps of other things. But the main one for her was that she has had a traumatic event after she was born. And next to the hospital, or quite close to the hospital, there was a certain kind of tree. And her subconscious linked the tree to the trauma. So every time she saw the tree, she got close to the tree, and wherever these trees were, her subconscious had this, oh no, that's not good, that's traumatic, we don't want that. So she started to become allergic to that tree, or the tree pollen, exactly. And what we did in the hypnosis session is we did go into the subconscious, figure out all these links, and take them all away because they were completely unnecessary. And eventually we worked through the trauma and it cleared, and the allergies have cleared too. So these are some examples that I want to give to you because it's important to understand that most of the things you will not be aware of. They are somewhere in your subconscious. But it's not that we have to live with all the stuff that is in our subconscious. We can dive into it and we can take those links that the subconscious used to help you and take them away and put links in that are really helpful, because you don't want to be allergic to cats. You probably want to link something completely different to cats, like fun or cuddles or good memories of. And that is possible. You don't have to live with all the links that your subconscious put into. You can change them, or you can take the original ones away, and then you can put new ones in, and that makes life so much easier. So my words to you here are, why not try something else? Because if you think about it, your doctor will not guarantee you that he or she can heal your allergies. They can't, because they don't know. They can give you medication and they can probably give you treatment that might lower the impact, or that might help you to not feel the allergy any longer, but the allergy will still be there. So why not try something else and see if this works for you? Hypnotherapy is a way to change your subconscious, and it's just a different way to deal with your allergies. If you want to hear more about what hypnosis is capable of, then follow my channel and we'll see you in the next video. And if you are interested in dealing with your allergies, then just send me a message. I'm here for you.